been involved in Breitbart and others. This is because Breitbart, I think, was his first job back in 2012.
Wow.
Charlie saw something that was impossible at the time. It wasn't just he wanted to engage in conversation and young people. He actually made the pitch that we're going to do this on college campuses. And of course, Young Americans for Freedom, they've had so many really good groups, strong groups that have gone to college campuses, but nobody's gotten the scale to actually turn it. And Charlie had a vision of how to do that by going to the worst of the worst, where it's embedded the most and be the most aggressive. His initial plan was to take over student governments, start first with inspiring people to be local and take over the student governments, and then it expanded. I mean, it's a behemoth today. He's built really a massive operational, apparatus that's extraordinary. He did that because not just did he see the vision, he executed on something that so many people said the odds on this thing are so long that it'll be impossible. He did it, and it was just grit, determination, and focus.
One of the things when he opened up his office in Phoenix and he was taking us through and we were having a tour, and he said, I don't know if you realize how many kids that become the head of their student government in college go on to become congressmen, senators, presidents. And it was a statistical, it was really mind-blowing what it was. And I don't remember what that was, but I just remember thinking that what he was trying to do was develop leaders at the college level so that they would go out and do this. And I don't think anyone had either knew that or had approached it, or I didn't know it. Maybe that's probably more honest than anything.
No, I was student body president of where I was undergraduate, and then had not had any involvement really in politics as I became a naval officer, and from a naval officer I went to Harvard and then went to Wall Street. So I was just not into politics, but after 9/11, I made a film, off of Peter Schweitzer's book, and started getting back in politics, and eventually made a big film about the financial crash, met Andrew Breitbart, and got involved in politics. But I took 30 years off. But Charlie, your point's exactly Charlie's point, that if you take over these student governments and get people, you'll teach people early on about the process of politics, and you never know. So many of these people will run for Congress, run for state legislature, but even if they don't, they will sometime after they've made their money or have had their career, they'll come back to politics. So, I mean, Charlie was talking about this when he was 18 and 19 years old.
Yes.
It was pretty extraordinary. And then I got to add, he executed. It's one thing to have a vision. It's another thing to execute against such long odds. And that's why he's, I tell people I've been fortunate enough to work closely with three people that are not replaceable. That would be Andrew Breitbart, Charlie Kirk, and Donald Trump. These people, a guy like Trump comes along once in a country's history, maybe twice or three times. We've had General Washington, Lincoln, and Trump. Andrew and Charlie are not replaceable. It doesn't mean their work doesn't go on. It doesn't mean that their organizations actually may become bigger and more effective. But they, as personalities, and they, as people that can drive the country in a certain direction, they're unique individuals and generational talents.
Absolutely. I mean, it's perfect what you said. And I think about these. I think the last time you, me, and Ava, I don't know if you were at 2024 in December of AmericaFest. But Steve, I think it had been maybe a month since you'd been out of prison at that point.
It's been about a month.
Yeah,
maybe been about. I think it was a month and a half after I've been in prison.
Yeah. And I remember I was waiting in line, and my friends wanted to go. I said, "No, I have to see Steve." And you had your book that all the photographs, but that and the energy there, and it was like right after finals, and that you have all these young people who are waiting to go home for Christmas, but they're there. It just spoke volumes about their priorities.
And he did it in Palm Beach, and then he moved the students summit to Palm Beach. But he did it when he first started doing it. I go, Charlie, I said, bro, everybody's finished at college. They want to get home. And he said, well, these are where the rates are the cheapest. We can get almost
exactly.
I said, is that why you're doing it? And I'm telling you, he built up a behemoth. The AmericaFest now in Phoenix is the must-go-to conservative gathering of the year, and it's still the same place. It just shows you a vision and